Holy Croatia, a European country that's incredibly diverse in its beauty, its geography, and its culture. We were lucky enough to spend an entire week crashing at a gorgeous Adriatic seaside villa in Primosten on the world-famous Dalmation Coast. In this episode, we're giving you a full tour of the digs, as well as taking you around the nearby towns to try some of our favorite sights, bites, and sips.
Hey! Welcome to our crib for the week. Let me take you to the master right down this hallway where it has its own wing of the house. But look at this. And let me give you a little trick with jet lag. We always sleep with the blinds open because it helps us naturally wake up with the sunlight. And it is stunning to wake up here and see all this right in front of you. King size bed and this shower. When I take a shower in here, I've got the perfect view of the Adriatic Sea, and it's a beautiful way to take a shower. Enough of this room, I'm gonna show you the rest. There are 2 ensuite bedrooms. That's where Colt and Brooklyn have been sleeping. And they have gorgeous views as well. And this room has all the same features. But look at this! This is the best thing to come down here for. Panoramic views and all this light that comes in, it's honestly gonna make it hard to leave at the end of the week. But it's a very inspiring kitchen. What a beautiful place to have a meal. What a beautiful place to cook a meal. Got views for days. I'm gonna show you probably the coolest feature of the house if you're always cold like Brooklyn and I are. The sauna back here. Oh, it smells amazing. Full shower right here, which is great for when you are playing in the pool. The pool level here is connected to the patio outside the kitchen. Such an amazing place to hang out and enjoy the epic view. Well, we're starving, so we're gonna show you how we do lunch, but first, we gotta shut all the doors. This is the wrong side. This one is much easier to close.
By far our favorite way to do lunch here is to just take this beautiful path that goes right down along the water, right into Old Town, where there are some beautiful restaurants and one of our favorites so far.
It's probably my favorite feature about the location of the villa. Just down these steps, gorgeous flagstone path, wraps all the way around, and it's about 1 mile to Primosten. That's how you say it.
We love walking about as much as we love eating, and the views from this boardwalk make this daily commute one of our favorite parts of the trip. We're gonna take a little detour down here and check out something that's really neat and expensive. Look at this. What are you guys looking at?
Sea urchins everywhere.
If you had a sushi restaurant, you could make bank here, huh?
So this reminds me, if you come to Croatia, you've got to bring your shoes when you go to the beach. Not just because it's sea urchins, but because the beach is made of pebbles and stones and rocks, and they're kind of sharp.
It only took us about 20 minutes to get from our villa to the downtown area, and now we're just gonna walk through here to get to the restaurant. But the views here are incredible because you're walking right past the community beach. And by the way, in the middle of summer, this place would be absolutely packed with people, but because we're here more like late spring, it's wide open.
We're gonna take you to Kamenar. Hands down, best restaurant in Primosten. Hello.
Hello. See you back. Hello, hello.
It's our 3rd time here. Oh, the red wine, Babush?
Beach, yes, it's
Beach.
a local Croatian. Thank you. A glass of Beach.
Please. I am in love with this wine. And you can only get it here in Croatia because it's a local grape that can only thrive and really grow and taste the same with the exact soil that they have here in Croatia. And this is a family-run restaurant, right?
Since 1974.
So your family?
I'm a relative. I'm with the family last 12 years working in this restaurant, and it's like already second, almost third generation that will.
Wow.
bottle of Prosecco, by the way. My go-to every time I come here, I have the Prosecco. It's really good, and it just really fits the vibe. I really love bringing the kids to places like this because it gives them another place to play on their devices. This is delicious. So they give us this tuna pate, which sounds very unusual. It's basically like a really good tuna salad with high quality tuna, and it's pureed into this like mousse kind of dip. So it's delicious. The flavor is very familiar, but the texture is completely unexpected.
So good. You can tell it's homemade. Ooh, gratinated scallop. So fresh scallop right on the shell. And it's baked with a little bit of butter and herbs and a little bit of breadcrumbs and Prosecco, Phil's favorite drink. Like it was caught today. So much happening here on the table. And there's more coming. Bibs! We get bibs!
That's how you know it's real.
I know, I feel like a winner.
Gosh, I feel like a baby.
You do, you look like a baby with those blue eyes. Our concierge Hannah said that this fish stew was the best dish on the menu. It's here!
You are ready for that?
Oh yeah, we're ready. It looks delicious. Wow, we got huge prawns, lobster, whitefish,
And also we have some shells.
shells, mussels,
Mussels and clams.
and homemade pasta.
Yes.
It's almost too pretty to eat. Almost.
Let's get it to go.
This is hot and beautiful. Hot. It's insanely good. Huge ass sauce. And the lobster is the king of the sea. What I love about travel so much is just like the experience of the flavors you get to taste when you go around the world, like we do.
We still have something else that's coming. Okay, now we're ready to go. Now we're ready.
The Old Town area of Primosten was an island until about 500 years ago, when locals built a bridge from the mainland and inspired its name, which means bridged over. Very creative. Old Town is basically a big mound, which offers a great chance to walk off that tasty lunch. You can hike up to the Church of St. George at the town's peak and see the Hilltop Cemetery. Or you can trek the entire circumference of Old Town on the outer boardwalk, which leads down to the Yacht Marina Pier. And now that you've burned almost 30 whole calories, you can swing past the gelato stand to add 400 back.
Can I please have Oreo and white chocolate?
But now it's time for dinner, and we're gonna go experience one of the most authentic dinners you can have in Croatia.
We're getting picked up right now and we're going to the Old Stone House. So we're gonna learn about history and culture and cuisine with this amazing Peka meal. The Old Stone House where we're going is a family-run business, and our driver, Andrea, is the son-in-law of the owner. He says in Croatia they call the son-in-laws the donkeys. Sons-in-law. I'm always getting corrected. Ooh, olive oil. So this is where they have their press for their olive oil because they do cold press.
What's cool about this place is that they're a multi-generational family that's raising, producing, harvesting, cooking, and serving every cheese, oil, wine, meat, and vegetable through traditional means.
We could eat up here, it'd be beautiful because the views and the lighting, but it's a little windy, so we're gonna eat downstairs.
We're gonna see our actual octopus being made right now under the lid that is called a Peka, right? Peka.
This is a little souvenir shop that they have where they sell all the products that they make here on the property. So olive oil and nuts, and this is like a dessert wine similar to a port, and it's pronounced Croatian. These are more like grappa.
This is a liqueur.
I'm gonna try the fig liqueur, and the figs, these are dried figs, and they are right from this property. And the liqueur is made right here, right?
Yes.
Yes. It's good, it's really sweet. It reminds me of port. Yeah, it's totally
wine.
like port wine.
Yeah, exactly like port. carob. Oh yes, I've heard of carob. It's kind of like they're where you have yogurt covered things. They have carob covered things too. Such like different notes compared to that other one. Totally different. Wow. Has a bit of a candy flavor to it. It's
like a lollipop.
Candy, part alcohol.
Yeah, right off the bat, it totally smells different. It reminds me of something. What is it? It reminds me of licorice, a red licorice, not a black licorice. I'm not a fan of this one.
Fig, carob, tart cherry, walnut, herb, rosebuds, brandy, grappa.
It's got a kick.
We should probably eat something.
This bread, homemade here in the same style that they make the Peka, so you call it Peka bread. Peka, tomato potato. And then olive oil made here on the property. We've got tons of charcuterie here, cheeses and meats.
It's like creamy.
Cool, you wanna try an olive?
This is olive?
Yeah.
These are our homemade wine. We make it as the best as we can, so...
Oh, that's so unique and delicious. I love that.
Yeah?
Yeah. You almost think it's sweet, but it's not sweet. That has such a unique flavor. You gotta try that.
Oh yeah! That's almost like champagne-y, but without the bubbles. This is
Traditional soup
awesome.
made of beans, chickpeas, barley.
This looks great, smells great. It is a traditional soup before Peka meal. Can't wait to try it.
Peka means two things. One is the bell-shaped, coal-covered lid under which the food is cooked.
Oh, beautiful.
The second is the meal of meat or seafood with potatoes and assorted vegetables. Many people link Peka specifically with Dalmatia, but the tradition of roasting under the bell lid is actually widespread across Croatia. It's the unofficial national dish.
This is so good. I can't even describe this sauce. It's like a meat jus sauce. It's delicious. It's so good, babe. What's the sauce made out of?
It's just the olive oil and a little bit of white wine, and the rest is that came out from the vegetables. And, that's it.
That's amazing.
That's it. On a little bit of this was really slow cooked, about 2.5 hours.
It tastes so complex, but it's so simple.
Yeah. It's just nature, you know. It's from the sea. My father fished that octopus.
Amazing that his dad caught this octopus, and now we're eating.
We round off our Peka meal with some beignet-like Frito-Lay fritters, and because we're here in April, a loaf of the famous Croatian Easter bread.
I'm still saying it wrong.
But enough about Primosten. Today we're heading 30 minutes north to Sibenik to experience a variation on the architecture and food that Croatia is known for.
I mentioned before in our other episode that Sibenik is known as the city of fortresses, and they have 4 magnificent fortresses that make up the boundaries.
Magnificent.
It was online.
Magnificent.
What did I say?
Magnificent. That's the 3rd time.
We're gonna do it again. We're doing it again.
Keep going.
And they have 4 magnificent fortresses that were built in the 17th century. Barone, St. John, St. Michael, and St. Nicholas. And right now, we're gonna head into the center of the Old Town.
This is the city library right now, and what's really cool about it is that this is actually part of the ancient wall, the fortress that went around the city, and it's just one part that remains. That's from the 1400s, and then in the 1960s they added on the modern part and turned it into a library, so it's new and old.
And they've got St. Michael up there. He has one of the fortresses because he's known as the protector of the city. And this used to be the front gate to the city.
This is really cool. If you notice that there's one window that's different, it's the one that comes out, and that's because back in the olden days, they would actually use that as a refrigerator, so they could put their perishable food right outside that outer window, and it would be outside where it was cooler.
This square is beautiful. It used to be the town center, town hall, and this is St. James Cathedral here, and it's known as being the most beautiful Renaissance square in Europe. And I can see why. It's just so full of history. We've been walking around these narrow streets of Sibenik and up and down so many stairs, passing monasteries, and now we are at Miranda. Miranda is a restaurant and it's also a meal. We like to call it brunch. Sherry flavored liqueur. That's actually pretty good. Ooh, those look good. You're gonna like that. Yeah. These are chips. They're basically flash fried sardines. Here it comes. Really good. Colt said it tastes like calamari, but I think it's better than calamari. Wow. Those are really yummy. They're kind of like potato chips because now I want to eat a bunch of them.
These meats are amazing. I mean, this is basically just a prosciutto, which is really good, but this is ham thigh. It looks like a rotisserie ham, and it's so succulent. Falls to pieces. These marinated onions, I think it's just some kind of vinegar, and they're really good. They're so flavorful.
All of these recipes are over 100 years old, and they're all homemade here at the restaurant, including the wine. They make their own wine, and this is a typical grape for the region.
We devour even more of Croatia in our next episode, which takes place in the larger city of Split. Pound that subscribe button so you don't miss it.